Today I'm showing you the hidden dangers of heat lamps that you might not even see or realize that you're making. So why are these heat lamps causing such a risk? Well, if you ask people, you're probably going to hear three common answers. One, the heat lamp can be knocked over. Two, the heat lamp bulb gets extremely hot. And three, birds can jump up and smack the bulb and burst the bulb. But it's not just these three common things that cause such a risk. Let's dig deeper, and I will talk about 5 different things that are hidden in plain sight and can cause a fire. Mistake number 1 is using these thin electrical cords. When we are using brooder boxes and heat lamps, we need to ensure that we are using at least a 12 gauge extension cord. Anything less than 12 gauge can overheat, ignite, and be one of the most common situations that a firefighter is going to experience when it comes to a heat lamp. And being grounded isn't just for kids. Which leads us to number 2. Mistake number 2 is using these 2-prong extension cords or 2-prong outlets. You know how chickens go crazy for mealworms and for scratch grains, and they just love you to provide that? Well, a fire's favorite thing is a 2-prong extension cord, and they love when you plug them into 2-prong outlets. So the solution here is actually very easy. Use one of these 3-prong extension cords. This prong right here is the ground, and plug it into a 3-prong outlet. How long do we really need that extension cord to be? Which leads us right into mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is using too long of an extension cord. And I'll be completely honest, I am one of those people that until I take a step back, sometimes just reach for whatever's closest. See if you've been in this spot. You're really busy and you need to bring birds to a new brooder box. The last part about getting that brooder box all set up and perfect for them is putting the heat lamp in, and you're in a rush. And the only thing you can think of is the next project that you've got to get done. Instead of walking clear out back to the shed where the extension cords are stored, that'll safely do the job. You grab the one right next to you, and it's 50 feet. But it'll do the job. We just got to wrap it around the brooder box a few different times so that it's not a tripping hazard, right? Wrong. That is the perfect recipe for a fire. The longer the extension cord is, the more resistance that cord has. The solution to this is a little trickier, but I know that you can get it. So if we grab this ceramic part of the heat lamp right here, it's gonna be hot. But did you know if you have too long of an extension cord, as we feel down the extension cord, we will actually feel heat coming off. If your extension cord feels warm, grab a shorter one or one that is more heavy duty. Remember, we need at least a 12 gauge extension cord. But did you realize even the place and the material that your brooder box is made out of can cause a fire? Mistake number 4 is using a heat lamp too close to a cardboard box, a plastic tote, or using material that can transmit the heat back up into the brooder box. I know a lot of people like to use cardboard boxes and plastic totes for brooder boxes when you're first starting out, which can be fine and safely done. But if you are going to use a cardboard box or a plastic tote, I highly suggest you actually use a heat plate instead of a heat lamp. This is a safer alternative and will radiate the heat. But what if you can't afford a heat plate? You can simply use the heat lamp. We need to just make certain that the cardboard box and the plastic tote remain cool and they do not feel warm to the touch where that heat lamp is. Also, we should never use glass aquariums to brood out birds, and we should not have our brooder box either A, using a marble floor or another surface like that, which will wick the heat right back into the brooder box. But even if you're using a wooden brooder box and the perfect extension cord, you are not out of the fire risk yet. There is one more common thing that can cause a fire, and we need to talk about it. And that is having your heat lamp too close to the bedding. The bedding needs to reach 200 degrees Fahrenheit to ignite, which sounds crazy, I understand. But heat lamps can create heat that is 500 degrees Fahrenheit instantly, igniting that bedding and causing a massive fire without ever touching the bedding. So the solution is something that every one of us needs to do. It's to keep our heat lamps around 18 inches off of the bedding. Not only will this prevent a fire, this is also the best habitat for chicks to grow in. If you got something out of this video, I'd love you to hit that like button and share this with a friend, because it is such a massive problem. And click right here to watch the next video that YouTube knows you'll love.